Sometimes life lets you down and you feel that you are done. You just want a morning run because the fun is all gone. But sometimes life makes you proud when you look far and wide, when you leave the pain behind and see the brighter side. TNC gives you inspiration. TNC reignites your passion. TNC starts your transformation. TNC helps you see the new you.
The new channel. The new channel. The views, opinions, and insights expressed in the following show are those of the hosts, producers, guests, and viewers. They do not necessarily reflect the position of the channel. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hello everyone and welcome to the new channel, here to help you see the new you. My name is Bob and this is the Fort Project. And we are back once again with another episode right here on the Fort Project, where we talk about money, business, and life right here, live tonight on TNC. My name is Bob, your host, and of course, welcome to this episode. It's the second day for the month of September 2020, and I hope everyone's doing good. Now, some updates on UAE. The lockdown is not yet somewhere around the corner. So balita namin kasi babalik, pero it's not yet there. So it's a good thing, but the movement is still somehow restricted, and we're still practicing staying at home and social distancing. And of course, if you're traveling from Dubai to Abu Dhabi, that's the strict way. So you have to have the swab test, and then the result will come out after 4 hours, and then that's the only time you can get to Abu Dhabi. But the rest of the Emirates, I think, from here going to Sharjah to Fujairah to Ras Al Khaimah, it's still okay. It's no need for the swab test. So you're good. But I suggest wherever state you are in now, stay there and stay safe. All right. So anyone celebrating a birthday today and you're watching this broadcast, like us right here on the broadcast, on the page. Follow us right here. And we also have the Instagram account of TNC, the new channel. If you want to see different hosts, program hosts and different shows on this beautiful channel, you can. And we're broadcasting live simultaneously on Facebook and on YouTube. So share this to your friends and family members, loved ones. And also, if you have questions and messages, anything, you can inbox us or on the comment section down below of the broadcast tonight. It's 7 o'clock the evening, or 7 o'clock in the evening right here in Dubai, UAE, 11 o'clock in the Philippines or Manila time. All right. And again, this is the second to the last episode of the season ender of the Ford Project. And again, I'd like to thank you guys for supporting and continuing loving the page and the shows, each and every shows of TNC. Now, like I said, the next guest that I'm going to have tonight is a brother in the industry of voiceover. So let me just read a little bit of the background of this guy. Events voiceover since 2009 and have since moved on to hosting corporate events for prestigious clients like Token News, the ESports and Gaming Summit, Acer Predator, and various local government departments like ICT and DOH. Some of his voiceover work were from clients like DOLE, Del Monte, Shell, Nestle Philippines, and his affiliation as Creative Productions Officer at Creativoices Productions has further enhanced his status as a distinguished voice artist under the mentorship of Mr. Pocholo The VoiceMastor Gonzales. Jeff was coined the VoiceCaster, being a voiceover artist and casting director for talents in various projects. So, but before I call on my guest tonight, please watch this.
V is to rise up, to go beyond. V is revival, to redefine, to be the best. V is the voice you hear everywhere. In TV, radio, the internet, public announcements, your mobile phone. V is the voice of victory.
V has come to.
V has come to.
All right. Without further ado, please welcome on the show Mr. John Gusayko.
All right. Hello. Good evening.
Hi, bro. What's up? How's everything?
Oh, yeah. Feel good here. Going live from all the way from Makati. Traffic's pretty good since it's 11 in the evening over here. Yeah,
Right.
pretty cool.
It was the
Live
meeting.
is- Mhm.
Mm-hmm. And how are you since the lockdown?
Well, I'd have to say I guess I was one of the fortunate ones since I'm able to move back and forth from my home place and to here in the office in Makati because well, I have I guess a pass that I'm able to go through quarantine areas and as checkpoints as well. Quarantine life, not much has changed. I've gained a lot of weight, I guess. I guess most of us has,
Right.
but for my work-life balance, it's all good, I guess. It's all work. But I guess I did say that I'm one of the fortunate ones because I guess being a voice artist, I get to work. I've been working at home and through the internet, so not really much of the go-to like face-to-face meetings and such. Though I do miss the live events though. That's a big percentage of the income or from the income stream that I get. But yeah,
Mhm. All
pretty
right,
much
that's good
it's
to hear.
all good.
That's good to hear. Now, okay, so ladies and gentlemen, my guest tonight is a voiceover artist. Sa mga hindi familiar, hindi nakakaalam o nakakaunawa. What does he does for a living? He provides his voice for, let's say, a product. Let's say yung mga nabanggit ko kanina, Nestle Philippines or Dole or kung ano mang radio commercial and TV commercial, and not just that, but IVRs or live events. Let's say halimbawa, sabihin natin Binibini Pilipinas. Let's say let's call on candidate number 7. Please welcome on stage. Parang ganun po. So that's what he does for a living. And now, not a lot of people can actually notice or know that we have an industry like this. In some cases, pag sinabi mong voiceover, ano yun? Narinig niya na yung commercial, pumlay na yung radio ad, yung TV ad, alin din yung voiceover. So that's being invisible, and that's how good we are in doing our work na hindi mo na napansin parang okay, yung nagsasalita pala yung nagsasabi ng produkto, and that's us. All right, so we have a team, we have a pool of people who's actually in the business of doing voiceover works. Now, John here, how did you start it? How did you know that there's a community, an industry na ganito? Kasi like I said kanina, no, we were talking earlier before the show. hindi mo siya makikita sa ano sa classified ads like customer service, wanted, security guard, wanted voice. Walang ganun. 'Di ba? So
Mhm.
how did you find out? How did you landed in doing voiceover works?
Well, when I started, I guess it was way back in 2013. I went professional. Just a few side gigs here and there. I got acquainted with the term voiceover per se. Yung mga variety shows back in the days. So I played in a band, and then I started usually announcing on rhythm guitars. Please welcome ganyan ganyan, and then I moved on to some mga live na mga events na ladies and gentlemen, so on and so forth. Hanggang sa yung mga dating mga pro bono, bigla nagkakaroon ka na ng sahod. And lo and behold, I was there. I'm getting calls na, hey, I heard that you're a VO guy, ganyan, ganyan. Are you available on this date? So on and so forth. Live events, very tiring. But well, pay wise or financial wise, nakakapagod, pero it's very rewarding as well. But it wasn't really not until I moved way back in 2017 that I met this guy, the voice master of the Philippines. I think pretty much his name is synonymous with voice acting or being in the industry per se. That he really taught me the ropes. He got me acquainted with the contacts, with the connections, how to properly work with people and clients. I mean, parang from yung dating nangangapa ako, I was posting ads, I was posting my services in OLX. OLX was back then pa. I think ngayon sulit PH na ba or what?
Right,
I mean, a
right.
lot has changed. And then ngayon, FB Marketplace and sort. But then, yeah, pretty straightforward. I got acquainted with someone who mentored me to being who I am right now, and then taught me the ropes. Like, no, don't do this. Don't don't parang ang dating hindi mo kailangang sobrang ibaba yung value mo and ganyan.
Right.
And yeah, fast forward to today, 2020, the year of the pandemic, and I guess I really owe this guy a lot, owe this man a lot. So my mentor.
Right. We're gonna be yes, we're gonna be talking about that. How did you actually start with him? Because I myself, we're both product of Creative Voices, and
Mhm.
it's been a really pleasure to work with this guy. But was this your? I mean, was you? I mean, were you a mass comm student or
Oh.
com arts or
Mhm.
kasi 'di ba yun ang mentality na para mapapunta ka dun
Uh-huh.
sa industriyang ganun. Pag
Uh-huh.
nursing ka, ano pag nurse ka, dapat nursing ka parang ganun eh. Was this your line ng course back in college?
Yes, I did take up BS Mass Communications AB Broadcasting, but prior to that, actually, I took up three courses na walang kinapundahan. So you mentioned nursing, so yeah, I did nursing too, not knowing. I mean, inadvertently not realizing na shit, takot nga pala ako sa dugo. So it's really funny. And then I also did mechanical engineering because after high school, wala akong pinasahang course dahil ang quota ko mababa.
Mm-hmm.
Pero hindi nga pala ako mahilig sa math. So, it's funny until I landed in the realm of mass communications. Nasabi nila mas komportable para sa medyo kulang yung mga hindi mo alam yung ano gusto mo puntahan. And then as well when I fell in love with doing the VO stuff. I was
Mm-hmm.
yung mga sa school radio DJs then. So I forgot. Parang mala DZRH ang mga Radio Veritas, yung parang gano'n. Radio Trinitas, I think, back in the day. So yeah, I took up mass communications, AB broadcasting.
So somehow there's parang there's a little bit of a foundation over there, 'di ba? Na parang
Mhm,
okay.
mhm.
So you have an idea how TV works and radio works, and you know what voiceover is at that time.
Uh-huh.
Now, I feel the same way back then nung sinasabi mo parang ano ka parang suntok sa buwan lagi nangangapa ka parang who to talk to, saan kukuha ng client, where do I get this, 'di ba? Like let's say Nestle or Palmolive or Colgate or 'di ba? Parang
Yeah,
saan, 'di ba? And
exactly.
of course you have to have a proper channeling nga talaga, no? But of course, let's talk about the passion of doing voiceover. Maraming iba na and probably the people who's actually watching this na parang, uy bro, ang ganda ng voice mo, ba't di ka mag-DJ, ba't di ka mag-voice over?
Mhm.
Let's talk about that a little bit. Voice quality. Ano ba ang hinahanap sa isang broadcaster, radio DJ, or voice over artist for people to actually have an idea on what the industry is all about?
Mhm. Well, I'd have to say na, voice is one thing. Yan yung parang bread and butter mo, parang yung pinaka main ingredient. If you got to have the voice. But there are a lot of people whom I know, especially our students right now in Creative Voices who we teach online to our online courses na minsan may iba, like yung boss nila ang nipis, no? Sobrang nipis ng boss nila. Pero lo and behold, after their graduation, like I know this one girl who lives in Antipolo as well. She got this bid for a project, and I was really surprised. I guess the main one of the ingredients is having the voice, but secondly, you also have to have your proper delivery. When you have to, syempre mga basic skills like have to read the script, how to pronounce the right words, and so the proper delivery. But also you have to have yung this what I call yung belongingness mo pag when you're trying to deliver the script. My mentor would always tell me that you have to be in character. Now you have to like be in character when you're trying to deliver the script. Now you can't just use any type of voice when you're trying to deliver, let's say, an IVR script. You're going to deliver something in the voice of SpongeBob. Hindi ganun di ba? That's why you have to have you embalm yung parang character mo when you're trying to deliver the voice. So, one of the ingredients would have to be yung boses mo. But lo and behold, nowadays, hindi na uubra yung ganong boses mo. Let's say, mga makakapal na edgy na voices mo na parang very announcer type of yesteryears that was my first heartbreak Yung I actually auditioned for one radio station back in the days and sabi na, bro, yung boses mo, you had a voice. Parang yung boses mo, ang kapal Parang when I press yung stinger, I hear your voice. It is just like that, very consistent. Hindi nagbabago. So, right now, I think the times have changed as well. So what the characteristics that they look for voiceovers is much more into the conversational type. So medyo sabi mo nga kanina, you mentioned parang boy next door lang. It sounds pleasing to the ears. I guess add a little bit of sexiness to it. Like something like the Axe commercial. Yeah.
Correct.
So,
So hindi pala pwedeng ang baon mo lang is boses lang. So you have to have and eto ba ibig sabihin were you born with this? Na-develop ba to? Napapag-aralan ba to? How would someone get into the industry if they wanted to, if they're interested, or at least to start?
Well, it's definitely learnable, no? Lahat naman yan natututunan. I'd always say being a voice coach as well in our academy na I'd always prefer someone that's teachable rather than yung medyo may alam na pero ang hirap na niyang i-break down. So yeah, it's definitely learnable. And when I started actually as a kid, I'd always tell my English teachers then because sabi nila bakit daw ganun ako slang, parang did I live in the US or doon ba ako lumaki? No, I always said I just watched a lot of TV. Yun lang, that's all. Sabi nila they were so shocked with my vocabulary that I was writing this parang formal writing competition namin. Sabi ko, I think I used the words, I remember it well. I hacked and slashed my way to the rice fields. And then my teacher then, I was grade 5, and she was shocked. Sabi, saan ko natutunan yung mga ganun pinagsasabi? I'd always say, I just watch a lot of TV. And then I mimic the CNN announcers. And so I always teach my students as well that it always starts with you have to mimic it first. It's not a matter of sabi nila you fake it until you make it. No, it always starts with having to shadow it first. No, you practice in front of the mirror. So it's definitely learnable. Hindi mo sabihin na, I was born with this voice and so on and so forth. No, I don't believe in that. Everything is learnable.
So, kasi ito nga, this is where I'm going. A lot of people may have, kumbaga, the most beautiful voices in the world, but if you don't know how to use them to actually utilize and maximize the voice, wala din. Diba? Parang sa singer, diba? Magandang boses mo pero hindi ka makakanta ng nasa tono. So it's the same thing with voiceover. Now, okay, so basically what we're gonna be tackling is the passion, diba? The drive and of course the setbacks and the failures. Sabi mo kanina, you have your first heartbreak. Now, sige, talk to me a little bit about that. When something is not going your way, because like me, I really wanted to go I really wanted to go to work to this one radio station na hindi nangyari. So I may have a fair share of because I submitted my demo tape, my demo CD, and then I didn't get a call back. So walk through us the process of the first heartbreaks. Isang bagay na gusto mo.
Well, I'd have to say na coming from a multitude of different backgrounds then. I did mention kanina through our pre-show that I came from a BPO in the BPO industry as well. A good few, what, 5, 6 years or so. When something doesn't work my way, I'd have to stop and reassess myself first. Yung first heartbreak ko yun, it was like what, 3 years prior to Creative Voices. So I joined, I auditioned. I think 2, 3 times I came there. Um, I even saw Casey Montero back then. I was like, they kept on telling me na, dude, you gotta parang loosen up. Yan, sabi na kasi yung boss ko nga daw, ang kapal. So you have to stop and reassess what you're doing wrong, diba? When you try to apply something different, you try to maybe adjust and you try to adapt to what they're looking for. I think that's very important, especially with the new normal. Na really have to learn how to adapt and then you really have to adjust yourself. Hindi, it doesn't mean na, plus, di ba, one's formula may not always work for everybody else. So I stopped, I reassessed. I was depressed for a good few, couple of months. I remembered I stopped accepting rackets or, gigs for live views. Sir, ano tayong ganito? SMX mo. Sorry. I'm not doing live events right now. So I'm just like, wow, haba ng hair mo, kuya. Parang, so,
Tumatanggi.
oo, tumatanggi, di ba? So I stopped, I reassessed, and then after I think it was a good 6 months, I came back out. So I tried a new formula. I adjusted myself, though my good old self, my good old voice, that Jeff voice would always be yun yung ano ko na parang kumbaga, yun yung default ko. But then
Mhm.
I started playing along. I started playing and experimenting with the type of deliveries, and lo and behold, yeah, I mean everything worked out well. I remember when I sent my first demo to the voice master, he himself replied to my email. I was like, starstruck. Oh, this is the man. It's himself, the man himself. So yeah.
Okay. That's I have my own story about him, and of course, we're going to be
Oh,
talking about that and him and the creative voices a little bit later on. But this time, we're going to be pausing for a break, and we'll be coming right back with more. Thanks a lot. Back on the show. It's the Wednesday night right here in Dubai, UAE. We're broadcasting live all the way from the Middle East this evening. This is the Fort Project where we talk about money, business, and life. And of course, before we actually move on with the interview with my guest tonight, I'd like to invite you guys to watch different shows right here on the channel. We have The Big Picture hosted by Mr. Lloyd Luna, Mondays to Fridays, 7 p.m. HR Hotline is Tuesday and Thursday, and Saturdays at 1 p.m. iBusiness is Tuesdays and Thursdays, 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, and Wednesdays and Fridays at 9:30 Philippine time, because they're broadcasting all the way from Tennessee and Texas. We have the U-Turn Mondays and Thursdays, 10:30 a.m. The Home Buyer streams every Mondays and Thursdays at 4 p.m. And we have the Puppet Story or Puppet Stories Tuesdays and Fridays at 5 p.m. Magbenta, bumili at tumulong dahil bukas na ang TNC Marketplace, an online night bazaar, live streaming every Thursdays and Fridays at 10 p.m. And of course, two leaders in one platform every episode. TNC, the talk, streams on Monday at 12 noon. We have Chino and Trisha for the after shift and the family business, a new show that is actually right here on the channel. And we have the town hall, Usapang Beauty, and YOLO. So a couple of other more shows right here on the channel that you might be interested in. All right. So again, follow us on this channel and of course Instagram, TNC the new channel. All right, so here we go. Back on my guest this evening. John Gusayko is a voiceover artist since 2009 and did a lot of voiceovers for different radio commercial and TV commercial. It's just that we just cannot play them right here on the platform because of some issues of copyright issues ba tawag sa mga ganyan. Kasi product tapos may mga makikita. Kasi nga, it's TV commercial, so may mga artista. But then again, okay. So, this is, I would say, a difficult industry because hindi siya alam ng marami. Unlike lawyer, na okay, you have to go to school, or doctor, or nurses, or engineer, or architect. You have to teach yourself somehow to start with. Tama ba? So tell us about that in studying your capability, the capacity na kaya ko ba talaga. And then you said earlier, mimicking, gaya-gaya. Because I think that's how we all started back in the day.
Mhm. Yeah. So yun nga, well, it all started with just mimicking. I, usually practice or imagine myself while taking a bath. I think most of us does that. Kumakanta habang naliligo. So I just started mimicking, and then whenever I watch the show or TV news in particular, I'd always imagine myself delivering news. So kaya yung medyo talagang yung boses ko talaga, yung mga ganun siya, yung makapal, medyo very announcer type, yun yung sabi sa akin. I remember that was like parang naging naging final assessment namin back then. Alam mo yung boses mo, medyo talagang very pang announcer type lang siya. I mean, just try practicing mga different approaches. So and I did. I tried, although I honestly I wasn't really that much of a fan of doing dubbed characters, Tagalog stuff. But lo and behold, because sabi ko nga, we have to learn how to adapt. And ever since moving on to the team of Creative Voices, I was very much acquainted with Tagalog content here and there. I live and breathe Tagalog content, scripts, and doing so. Everything else, like I was the head of the production team. And it's really a matter of really redefining yourself, trying to adapt, trying something new. And then whenever I get stuck with something, or maybe ano ba, I started doing imitating mga boses nila Optimus Prime, yung mga ganyan. Mga medyo yung mga masculine, makapal na boses na stereotype na all males, no? I never tried doing female voices, for the love of God, but yeah, maybe in the future. Though I do have projects like right now, storytelling for children under a local client. So parang I do female voices every now and then. It's funny. It's super funny. But it's always a matter of redefining yourself, always making yourself new. Parang ganun. Kasi hindi ka pwedeng ma-stock up lang with just one approach. It's parang a tried and tested formula na, and then you never go out of your comfort zone. Na parang ganun na lang siya. So ang mangyayari niyan, it'll grow old, and then eventually new talents nowadays are they're here and there. They're always being discovered. So you always have to teach yourself new tricks and new techniques, diba?
Mhm.
Mhm.
Now, I understand that the mentor is very, very crucial and very, very important in this part of
True.
a job. All right. Now,
Mhm.
let's go to Creative Voices. How does Creative Voices and Mr. Pocholo Gonzales help you to actually navigate more in the industry of doing voiceovers?
Okay, well, speaking of mentorship, then he has really taught me not, I can't really describe it well, but a lot. I mean, really a lot. From just being mentoring me from how to do my voice well to improve my delivery, because I always do this. Pag kinukumpara ko yung how I sounded back then when I first sent my demo to how I sound and speak now, delivering the same script, the standard Creative Voices script, which has existed for like what, 10 years or so, 15 years. It
Yeah.
sounds way, way different. He'd always coach me na, oh, Jeff, ganitong style. Jeff, ganito. Jeff, medyo baliin mo ng ganyan. Or minsan, pagka medyo sinerte-swerte ka, makakarinig ka ng konting maanghang na salita na, ano ba? Ganyan, in the radio booth. But he'd really push me to the point na I'd maririnig ko lang sa kanya yung parang praise or maririnig ko lang sa kanya yung affirmation pag inuubo na ako dun sa booth. Alam mo yun talaga, yung sakit eh, talaga. Yeah, I never really experienced naman yung umubukan ng calf's blood, what like the dubbers do. But talagang sabi niya, alam mo yan ang sinasabi ko, nagbabago ka na eh. Pero talagang ubo talaga ako to the max eh. But and aside from that, he has also taught me a lot of things in life, in general. You know how you tamang diskarte sa mga bagay-bagay, especially when dealing with the clients. You know, he'd
Hmm. Hmm.
always tell me na you never have to really parang I don't know if I'm allowed to say that on air, but don't have to kiss their butts,
Hmm.
plain and
Hmm.
simple, di ba? You just
Right.
have to lay it down with them. Oh, this is what I can do, and then add value. It's one thing that I always remember to him. You know, you lay down the foundation. This is my service. This is the
Hmm.
price, and then you add value to it. No, what's that
Exactly.
added value? It's all about yung how you deal with them, and then after mong i-deliver yung product, yung after sales care and support mo sa kanila, gano'n. So it's, I guess that's part of marketing already, but he also
Hmm.
taught that me well. Kasi being a one man team when I was doing freelance as a lone wolf per se, sobrang
Right.
hirap eh. Sobrang hirap eh. But then when you have this, you're being mentored under the wing of someone like not just, isn't just only a prominent figure, but also the right figure to teach you the right skills. And it
Hmm.
all comes into play. Eh. Sobrang ang bilis ng pangyayari. Whenever I teach in a class, they get to know me. And I was joined Creative Voices 2018. They're like, wow, that was super fast track. 2 years. Parang hindi nila ma-imagine, especially for this kind of industry nga, di ba? And then on the lighter side, um, when we're not working, of course, madalang lang yun na we're not working.
Right.
Um, I appreciate what I get from him. I can't like call him like parang father figure, pero for the longest time in my journey, professional wise, because me and my dad, we never really got along like eye
Hmm.
to eye. You know, I worked early, I stopped schooling and in and out of school. When I
Hmm.
met him, um, I saw in him yung mentor figure na parang he's gonna, really cherish this relationship na hindi lang bilang katrabaho or bilang someone na parang mamanduhan ka lang, but it's a holistic relationship. He taught me a lot of things in life na I
Hmm.
really value. So, talagang holistic as a mentor.
Now, I think one of the many things that we actually got from him is treat the voiceover industry as a craft, as an art, and
Yes.
of course, at the end of the day, it's business. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
marketing, putting the products out there, and
Mm-hmm.
getting the products to clients. Now, um, in the entrepreneurship part of the workshop, when you were, I mean, you're still with Creative Voices and a managing partner. um how does this actually change the dynamic of from ako lang dati and now I have sort of a team, may mentor pa ako, and then now I can see that there's a lot of clients pala na pwedeng kausapin, pwedeng paglagyan ng ginagawa namin.
Mm-hmm. Well, entrepreneurship wise, it's all about building the proper connections and relationships. Eh? Like, well, right now, by the way, I'm doing managing director duty, so I get like a piece of hand, and a piece of the pie in almost everything, not just production wise. I interface with clients directly now, so it's very important. It's crucial to have a good, solid relationship with your clients, lalo na pag mga potential clients yan. yung mga bagong pasok na leads niyan. And you don't want to burn the bridge pa lang, like initial wise, yung pagpasok pa lang, you give them, you always have to give them this really good impression, no? Like the best impression. It always tell us, the team especially, pagpasok pa lang ng email, sagutin yan within 1 hour. Because if it's not going to be food on our table, it's going to be food on the table of others. It's going to be the
Right.
opportunity for other people, di ba? So every minute counts. Na pagka hindi mo nasagot yan, hindi mo nakuha yan ngayon, wala na yan. Wag mo nang
Right.
asahan yan. So it's always like that for us. We were trained not just being voice artists, but what you call it as a holistic voice artist per se. Now, you have to really market yourself well, build the solid relationships. And now, it's not just about marketing ourselves, it's marketing Creative Voices as a whole. It's
Right.
managing the connections with the clients of Creative Voices. So I always say, I have my side projects on the sides. But when I represent CV, when I represent Creative Voices, it has to be tapat dapat yan. Hindi pwedeng kasi, I'm not representing myself. I'm representing Creative Voices.
Right. Now, when we do it by ourselves before, you can just do so much, and it's a huge difference and additional value to you if you go with a team, right?
Mhm.
So we were talking about passion and mentorship. Now, what are the setbacks bukod dun sa nabanggit mo kanina na first heartbreaks? Now, okay, eto na, I'm treating my voice as a business now. So what are the setbacks and how did you guys overcome every failure, every struggle? And did you guys get rejections also in projects?
Yeah, definitely. There were a lot of rejections, especially when you're trying to outbid other guys, when you're trying to submit your initial proposals. I'd have to say overcoming setbacks is just a matter of really trying to go back to the drawing board. Parang yung sabi ko rin kanina, you stop, you take a pause, you take a breather, and then you reassess what went wrong, diba? Is it because late naming nasagot, or is it because yung equipment natin inadequate, which is I'm often sure it's not about the equipment. So it's usually about yung tamang pagsagot mo sa client. Say that makes or breaks everything, even though it's just email. And then yung mga rejections in terms of projects. So um, when I started doing production duties, I was doing the editing and tech duties for this project called Filipino Fairy Tales. It's a project, dub project in YouTube. Uh, Large scale following right now, especially in terms of yung mga kabataan. Minsan mapapadaan lang ako, mapasayaw sa jeep, maririnig ko yung boses ko. Like, ooh, it's just a big deal. So when you submit your initial take, you mix everything, you spend hours, minsan puyat-puyat kami, and then only to find out na balik yun. So it's all a matter of trying to really analyze what went wrong. I mean, ano nangyari, bakit ganun? You take a step back and then you always try to come back dapat 2 times, 3 times better than what you were yesterday, di ba? Parang kasi
Mhm.
otherwise, if you never learn from the mistake, it'll goes out the window. It's for naught, di ba?
Mhm. Now,
Mm.
the people who are watching this, the kids and maybe the adults who'd like to give it a try. Now, the question is there a money in doing voiceover works? Kasi it's fun to do the works, 'di ba? Parang sinasabi nga nila sa atin or do sa mga naging radio DJ, parang galing no, parang every night, every day yung boss nyo naririnig sa
Mhm.
taxi, sa kung saan man, sa bus or is it I mean, is there really a money in the business of doing voiceovers?
Short and sweet answer, yes, there is. It is a feasible source of income. Though initially hindi mo siya pwedeng gawin na parang money driver mo agad eh. Let's say you're doing Grab driver ka, or you're working in the BPO industry. You can't make it na parang, you just take the plunge, you resign, you pour in your time and effort because it takes time. It takes time. Yung momentum niya for you to get there to that level na parang ikaw na yung laging nakukuha, ikaw yung laging may projects here and there. It takes time. But short and sweet answer, yeah, yes, it's feasible as a source of income. Maybe at times it won't be enough. That's why one of the good things that I learned from Pocholo as well is you have to have multiple income streams. You know
Right.
when you have time, when you have spare, oh, ano bang spare, you invest it. It doesn't, pag narinig ko before yung term na investment, inisip ko agad pera invested in stocks or whatever or other bonds.
Right.
But you all also have to invest in other things like your time, invest in new skills, learning new crafts, learning new methodologies, especially with right now, technology is moving so fast, no? So
Mhm.
maybe yung maaaring yung tried and tested formula mo no, how to get a clean track out to the client, maaaring it can be done, in a fraction of a couple of minutes compared to dati na matagalan mong ginagawa. So you have to always learn new ways and techniques, methodologies. So investing.
All right. So there's a money. Yun nga lang, hindi ka agad-agad, and it takes
Yeah.
time, and you have to have a lot of patience in doing voiceover. If you really want to pursue the career of being the voice of a live event, the voice of a shampoo or a toothpaste. Now, um, I'm gonna ask you the question, but you can answer this after the break. How is the rejection different from before and now that you have a better understanding of what you do as a managing partner in Creative Voices? But of course, you're gonna be answering that sa pagbabalik po ng the fourth project, and please do stick by. Thanks a lot. Back on the show, the Fort Project, live on TNC, the new channel, broadcasting all the way from Dubai, UAE. And of course, before we actually move on with the rest of the interview, I'd like to say hello and good evening. Hi to all the people who's actually on the comment section down below, watching all the way from Australia. Si Aling Clem and my mom, Melbourne, Australia. Chino, what's up, bro? Chino, Jose. Ano 'to, Hepte Ahoro. Chino na lang, ang haba, eh. Oo, pinapahirapan ako nito, eh. John, do you wanna say hi to anyone, before you actually answer the question?
Yeah, definitely. I'd like to greet, of course, and tune in the voice master himself, Pocholo Gonzales. Good evening, partner. And of course, the CV team. Thank you for supporting me. Na kahit na sure. And I think na-share ko yung stream natin kanina mga couple of minutes. Like they were like, "What? I mean, that's tonight already." And of course, special shout out goes to my friends out there who also supporting me right now. Maraming salamat for your support and love. Peace.
Ruby Ann Caceres is a batchmate of you
Yes. Mommy
on
Ruby.
Creative Voices. All right. Hello. Good evening. Thanks a lot for watching the show tonight. So, rejection before and compared to now that you have a better understanding of what you exactly do in the business.
Yes, I'd have to say that when in terms of dealing with rejection, and back in the days, I was very, I'm a very emotional person. So whenever I get rejected, talaga medyo imo-imo ka muna dyan, medyo stop muna. Kaya, I think it helped me in a way in developing my formula of, you have to take a breather, stop, pause, reassess yourself. But back then I was really parang talagang down talaga ako nung back in the then. But now, right now, when I'm dealing with the rejection part or dealing with yung mga issues na ganito, now I have a support system. That's very important. Now I have my team to back me up. Plus, it also helps me get to the bottom of things in reassessing and then trying to analyze where we went wrong. It's way easier right now because not only do we have better experience, better understanding. Now I have different minds, different heads trying to connect with me. Na maybe we should have done it this way. Maybe it would have been better if we have done this way. Or there's the usual, sabi ko sa'yo, dapat ganun natin ginawa. But, I mean, when you're working with a team, there's always that, one who points the finger. Sabi ko sa'yo, di ba? Dapat ganun ang ginawa natin. But, in totality, things are so much better right now when it comes to not just me being an individual as a voice artist, but I always see myself as part of a bigger picture, part of the team. You know, and that way it makes me much more, number one, it makes me much more productive because then I'm not only, it's not just for myself, and then secondly, there's a support system, so it helps
Right.
me get things better along the board.
Now, I want to add something right there, John, that when you get rejected in life,
Mm.
it doesn't mean you're not good enough. It's just mean that sometimes maybe the role is not for me. Maybe I don't qualify on the requirements of the client. Kasi let's say, sabi mo nga, di ba, although nagboboses bata po si John, kung hindi yung batang boses yun yung hinahanap, hindi siya talaga makukuha. Ay halimbawa, nagboboses ng matandang lola, hindi ko talaga makukuha si John. Di ba? Kasi lalaki ho yan eh. So, I mean, hindi lang perfect fit sometimes. It's not that you're parang bobo ka, mahina ka, di ba? Or pangit yung boss mo. It's not just fit to the quality that the client is actually looking for. Am I right?
True. And I think that I got that that exact term. I got that trait when I tried out in dubbing. I'm telling you, I mean, you can let me do voiceovers all day, like hanggang sa mamasa ko. But when I tried dubbing, by good lord, I'm like, it's like parang lahat ng role hindi para sa akin eh. When you get that kind of mentality. But true. Thank you for reminding me that, Sir Bob, na minsan it doesn't mean that you're not good enough, pero sometimes maybe yun nga, talagang hindi pasok yung role. And we get a lot, we get a lot of those as well. I think at one point I was wondering why, me being the VO guy of the team, may mga times na parang sunod-sunod na project, no? Parang, bakit hindi ako nakukuha doon? You're left wondering. But then again, when I try to take a step back and try to reassess things, it's part of, I'm part of a bigger picture, part of a bigger team. It's not just for myself. It's all about the people behind me. You just have to let them shine by themselves then, di ba? Parang give them the limelight.
And it takes a lot of, like I said earlier, it takes a lot of, patience, time, and maturity in the business. Now, I remember a story of in one of the many seminars that I've attended na merong tatay na nagbigay ng relo. It's an old watch dun sa anak niya. Sabi niya, dalhin mo to doon, parang assessment ba kung magkakano nila bibilhin. It's a classic old watch talaga. Sabi nung pinagdalhan ng unang store nung doon sa bata, naku, ano lang yan, bibili namin ng siguro 200, 300 pesos. So bumalik uli yung anak doon sa tatay and sabi niya, pa, ano lang daw, 200, 300 pesos eh. Ganun ba? O dalhin mo doon sa ganitong store. So this time, dinala nung bata sa isang antique shop na store na bumibili talaga ng mga coins, pera, ng mga luma talaga. Ang appraisal nung relo is abutin siya ng 10,000 pesos. So the moral lesson of the story is, if they don't give you the, let's say the amount or the value, they don't see your value. So go somewhere else na makikita nila what you can actually bring to the table. And that's a very, very good attitude nowadays in everything that you do, not just in voiceover, being in a relationship, in entrepreneurship, partnership, or corporate, or wherever. So it takes a lot of patience, takes a lot of maturity. Now, ingredients in becoming the man that you are in the industry of voiceover, because you did not stop pursuing, this is what I really want, I need to be connected to the right people, I need to be the voice of this product. You did not stop. So where did that come from? Na, the attitude of just, I want to learn more, I want to prove myself na kaya ko to. Saan ang gagaling yan?
I always go back to that simple dream back in the days. When I started mimicking, when I started shadowing those characters, those announcers, those speakers, I always told myself na one day, and I told Pocholo this na I want to hear my voice on TV. And lo and behold, at one point I was the station VO of this small channel called Pop Life TV locally, but now they're, due to the pandemic, they're no longer in existence. Yeah, I kept pushing. I just kept doing. I kept grinding because again, hindi nga siya instant eh. Yun talaga yun. You start off with the small projects here and there, side by side, until you get to the point that dadating yung point na you land the big one. Yun. And I'd have to say na I still haven't gotten to that point. Kasi when you say na parang you've gotten there already, parang you stop na eh, parang wala nang improvement. So I won't say that, but I'd have to say that you just have to really keep grinding. And I always go back to that simple dream as a kid na, I wanna hear myself on TV. I wanna hear myself on TV. I wanna hear myself on radio. And yeah, hanggang sa dumating yung point na my mom would tell me, ikaw ba yung nagboses nung ganun lang nakita ko sa YouTube? The source materials that are, maybe copyrighted, those are actually online. So yung mga tipong intrusive ads na magpe-play yung video, magpe-play yung palmo, ganyan. So it's like, nakakainis, pero at the same time, it gives you this sense of pride na, uy, ako yun na. So I'd always go back to that simple dream. And that has pushed me to where I am right now. Good, solid ingredients will always have to be hard work. Nothing would ever compare to hard work. Plus, of course, having parang natutunan ko rin kay Pocholo to, kay Sir Pocholo to, na, you have to work smart. Not parang, di ba, nowadays, working hard isn't always tantamount do sa daily, araw-araw, grind ka, ganyan,
Right.
8, 12 hours. You have to work smart, di ba? It doesn't mean na kailangan ko manlamang ng ibang tao. I hate people like those na na the Pinoy mentality na ito lang kasi yung alam ko, wala akong natapos, blah blah blah, blame it on the government. No, I hate that kind of mentality. For me, it's always work smart and just you keep on doing your best, diba? A lot of people are leaving the country. I mean, because sabi nila, better opportunities out there. But I always believe that you just have to really work smart and you're bound to struck gold one of these days, diba?
I think we all have the men. I mean, you're right. Earlier, a simple dream that, syempre, you were a kid. I was a kid. Gusto ko marinig yung boses ko sa radyo. Gusto ko marinig yung boses ko sa commercial o sa TV. But I did a survey. Do you like hearing your voice? Yes or no?
Me?
Yeah.
Personally, I do. It's crazy because a lot of students of ours are like they're terrified by hearing their voice. They're like, is that me? Parang please don't, wag na sir, wag na i-play. Parang I do. Probably I've already gotten so used to hearing myself, especially in the big stadiums with a lot of echo and reverb. But yeah, I do. Especially because it allows me to gauge the way how different I am now from how I started.
Well, on that, yeah, evaluating on that part, yes. But
Mhm.
90% of the time, most of the people that I interviewed and asked the same question in broadcasting and media, we all hated our voice, but somehow, ironically, we do the work. We
Uh-huh.
articulate, we do the voiceover, and we're so gotten used to talking over the on the microphone and broadcasting and stuff like that. But
Mm.
yeah, 90% of the time,
90% of the time.
I don't. Yeah, you're right. The only reason why I want to listen to my voice is to see where I got it wrong, where
Okay.
the rooms for improvement. That's the
Mhm.
only time. But
I see.
I don't enjoy hearing my.
Okay, well, because like one other thing that probably is still on my bucket list when it comes to voiceovers. I want to be casted for like a video game. So definitely, I want to hear my voice when I'm playing the game already. I'm gonna, oh, that's me. Even if it's just like an NPC, like a small role, yung hindi siya main character. I wanna hear my voice, man.
I think we did that Sega back in 2011 or 10
Oh
or
my god,
12
yeah,
in the
Transformers.
same studio that you guys are working.
Yeah, that's
It's
so nostalgic.
what's the title of the? And I saw the video game here in Dubai.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Uh, I forgot. Anyways, so I did. I mean, I had the pleasure of uh, contributing the voice of
Wow.
a game.
Uh-huh.
Anyways,
Really.
so okay, so you have to have a lot of passion and patience, and that's the thing that you have with you, that it's not an instant. You said that ang instant na lang yata kape ngayon tsaka noodles, no? But in terms of being successful in any field,
Uh-huh.
it takes a lot of time. And I
True,
think
true.
most people, why do you think most people don't want to take the long process? They want to take the elevator instead of the stairs. Why do you think so?
Well, I'd have to say most of the time, a big percentage of the people would want to take the shortcuts because of this, because of the finances. Most of the time, why do people want to, settle with like it's I don't know if it's offensive to say like they want to settle like after out of college, it would just settle for a day job, like so on and so forth, just to pay the bills, so on and so forth, put money on the table. Most of the time, I'd have to say they want to take the elevator up because of the money, because of the pay, because of the moolah. Not a lot of people want to devote that much time, like compared to back in the days. If you're going to take like law, medicine, it's like you're really going to grind a lot of time. But it's especially when in the creatives industry, like if you're an artist, visual artist, or doing voiceovers or whatnot. um, Most of the time, when you're saying that you're going to grind the time or grind is because it's going to be pro bono, it's going to be just for passion, and very little, like minsan exposure. Yeah, we
Hmm.
all hear that. I mean, you can eat exposure, so on and so forth. But what they don't realize is that with that little exposure, minsan doon ang gagaling yung pag na-discover ka ng talent scout, di ba? Na-discover ka ng ganito, connections and so forth. Parang it builds very little, pero in the long run or in the bigger picture, dun papasok yun yung value nun eh. Not a lot of people see that. They always want the instant results, I guess.
Wow. Yeah. Powerful words. And I guess that's what they need to understand, people nowadays. And even in YouTube, Instagram, or Snapchat, or wherever you are, TikTok, before you can actually have that massive following fan base of yours, you gotta
Mhm.
put time, you gotta put work, you gotta grind and hustle day in, day out. Now,
True.
specifically, in what you do, wala ka ng ibang ginawa. How important is the singleness of purpose? Kasi sabi ko nga, no, hindi pwedeng nagbebenta ka ng tosino, nagbebenta ka ng duster, may alahas ka, meron kang lupa, may bahay, may sasakyan. Yeah, single, kasi you have to protect your image, right?
Mhm.
You can ask the people on the properties, the condos. Kapag pag dito ka lang. Hindi ka pwede na may dala kang this brand, meron ka pang dalang that brand na parehong condo, right?
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
with what we did in the past, like, I mean, radio, broadcasting, voiceover, bosses, train. Kailangan makakuha ng mga tamang tao, tamang mentor, tamang... So, how important is just having the single, parang single purpose or single goal in life?
I think I'd have to say it's really important in playing the part, and I remember this very very well. Back in 2015, I was actually juggling um, like three jobs, home based, and one of those jobs was the side voiceovers. And I'd always get to the point that I get really worked up with the other two jobs, and was like virtual assistant, managing clients, so on and so forth. The other one was doing video editing, which really takes up a lot of time. Pays good, but and then whenever I get to the VO part, 2, 3 projects in a month, it's like whenever I get to the point, I upo ako dun sa recording with my setup and everything. Everything's all set. Is like I always end up na parang I don't know what to do. It's like para akong beginner lagi. It's like always my first time doing it. It's like, paano ko na nga ba ginagawa ulit to? Paano nga ba yung ganitong delivery? Ano nga ba yung shortcut ginagamit? So, yung constant practice, di ba? It really plays a part eh. If you just like driving, di ba? Sabi nila you never really forget when you're doing it. Pero if tagal kang hindi nagda-drive, di ba? Lalo na manual na kotse, di ba?
Correct.
Mahihirapan kang yung ano yung pag-shift kasi when I'm I'm using an automatic back in the days I was driving. I was so used to driving manual. So ngayon, kumakadyot na ako nagmamaneho ako ng manual. It's like
Bakit mo
so it's like
ginagawang
my
kabayo
mom.
sa sakyan?
Oo, talagang nagiging kabayo, literal. And like my mom would say, ano yun? Ano yun? Nangyayari sa kasi nasanay ka na eh. It's just like in every other craft. If you get like even maybe just a couple of months, it's different. It's so different. The voice will always be there, diba? It's going to be an innate ability already because you trained like a couple hundred hours or so and a lot of time. Pero it's very important to be consistent. Yan yung like natutunan ko na. This I really learned from personal experience. And it's just juggling 2-3 jobs. And I guess it gets me to the point that having multiple income streams doesn't have to be like multiple jobs, like working
Right.
for different bosses and so because at the end of the day, if you still an employee, it's not going to be financially sustainable, I guess. So
Right. Now, I want to add really, really quick on that. I'm gonna give the company, and you tell me the product that they have, just to prove a point here that you have to have the singleness of purpose. I'll tell the company, and you give me the product. Rolex,
watches,
Nike,
shoes,
Starbucks.
coffee.
There you go.
Yeah.
So
Very
people
good.
stop doing yung sinasabi natin ano yun ano yung marami kang ginagawa multitasking. It
Multitasking.
doesn't work, okay? It doesn't work. You may think it does, but it doesn't work. Look, Manny Pacquiao, hindi siya nagbasketball siya recently na lang, but what he does from 15 years old up until now that he's 41, 42, wala iba kundi boxing.
Diba? And then
Tiger Woods, diba? Tiger Woods, wala ibang ginawa kundi golf. So Michael Jordan and so on and so forth. Michael Jackson is just did music, diba? From being a kid and up until the day he died. So you can learn from the people of na ito mga to na no, parang wala naman pala talaga. So you just have to really focus on one thing and do it better than everybody else, diba?
Yeah, I'd have to
So
say. Consistency
and of course,
is always.
and then again, try to find a mentor, and of course, try to do your own research. But a mentor would be very, very helpful in the process of whatever you want to become in life. And of course, John, thank you for your time. I know I have a lot of questions, but because of the time, I hope that you're going to be back here on the second season of the show right here in the Fort Project. But before we let you go, any platform that they can actually reach you, and maybe they want to enroll and get to know how to actually become a voiceover artist, go ahead, please.
Yes, of course. Please do follow our main page, Creative Voices Productions, via Facebook. Facebook is always our main platform, and then you can search for us for our main voiceover classes and voice acting classes. Search for Certified Voice Artist or CVAP, CVAP. Search for that in Facebook as well, and you can always get updated on what's everything that's happening in and out of Creative Voices. Of course, the one and only, the number one voice acting school in the country, and that has now hit online. So we're now in cyberspace. Of course, lahat yan, inayos na, invest ni Sir Pocholo Gonzales, the VoiceMaster, because he wants to reach a wider and bigger audience. And if it's not too much to ask as well, do hit me up and follow me on Facebook. I have my own social media handles. You can search for the V. That's VII.1786 on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram.
All right, thank you so much again. It's been an honor, and it's nice to have you on board. Thank you for the time, John, and again, stay safe. All right. Okay, there you go. My guest, wow, voiceover artist, and I didn't get to that level of doing voiceover for uh, a TV commercial. I did a radio commercial, I guess. But then again, I'd like to say hello, good evening to the beautiful people who made the show possible for tonight. This is presented to us by Puzzle Box BPO, presented to us by the Manila Times, and of course, Step Back. And also hello to the Philippine Association of Professional speakers. All right. And of course, this has been Bob, your host, right here on the Fort Project, where we talk about money, business, and life tonight on TNC. Until next time, good night.